Start it. Can they hear me, Ted?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live from New York.
This is a. Uh-oh, I screwed something up. Yeah, we're live.
Oh no.
It's Friday night though. How's everybody doing? Um, I forgot a screen that I need to pull up right now. Nate, how's it been going, Nate? How's your man, I am still so out of it, to be honest. Like 8 hours of travel and like back and forth, and then yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, not gonna lie.
Dude, I had no FOMO at all. Sitting at home, not playing in Worlds. A little FOMO. It's
Uh,
okay though.
yeah, we as much as I say all these things, Worlds was amazing. Really, uh, yeah. I mean, it was a big W for Flesh and Blood. There was a lot. I mean, it of course it. If you've watched some of the podcasts, there were some hiccups. We can get into those a little bit. Especially on site, there was some hiccups.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, overall, I think it was a step up from last Worlds for sure. I think I've talked about this before. The tent didn't really bother me that much. The bathroom
Step up
situation.
from the tent?
I mean, it's like a building, right? I looked around and I'm like, yeah, it's got like iron girders and shit. Like I don't
It-
care about the tent. The bathrooms were a step up, okay?
the
The
bathrooms were unacceptable for Worlds
the
last
yes,
year.
yes, the bathrooms were slightly better this year, but that wasn't hard to do.
No,
Um, but
no.
yeah, I mean, we got a lot of info. We got some heavy hitters, details. Um, yeah, the keynote unfortunately was like really hard to hear, and there's like 50 million people, and so I kind of went back and watched the video. Actually, I just walked away at one point because I was just like, I can't hear anything. I'll have to catch up on this later, but
Yeah.
um, still very cool. My new favorite thing in the world is Iberian ham. It's very good, and you can't get it here in the States. It's illegal to import it. So, uh,
Wait, what?
yeah, yeah,
Why?
no slaughterhouses or meat processing plants in Spain are USDA approved, and that pig that they grow only eats acorns in Spain and Portugal or something. Yeah, I looked it up. So, because I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And there's guys there, dude, that like slice it like by hand, and it is like prosciutto. If you've ever seen prosciutto, guys, it's like that thin, and they're doing it by hand. I thought they were gonna be like slicing it on a machine. No, there's like some old dude there, like slicing off one thing at a time. It was wild, man, and it's amazing. They put it on everything, dude. They like just feed it to you like sliced. They put it on bread. It's awesome. Um, and I guess it's obviously not all about ham. Barcelona, I put this out on a tweet, but I was walking back from dinner on Tuesday because I was leaving Wednesday morning. The people that I roomed with, their flights were that night, so they had already left to the hotel, and I was kind of just meandering back by myself. And man, Barcelona kind of blew me away. It was super walkable, like friendly people. Um, it was a really cool city. Um, yeah, can't say enough about the city, the parts that I did see. So, um, my wife wants to go back after, or my wife wants to go. She couldn't make it with me this trip, so yeah, Barcelona might be in my future couple years down the road because I would definitely go back. It was cool.
Yeah. So we got two questions in the chat. Kiwi, I ain't buying anything right now. I got stuff to sell right now.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna talk about that here in the States. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. I think let's start with the worlds, kind of walk through worlds a little bit. But yeah, I do want to talk a little bit about the TCG Player Black Friday sale that's happening later, because
Ted just
buying,
wants
s-
the
bu-
store.
yeah, buying stuff right now is buyer beware a little bit. I mean, things are moving around so fast right now, guys. It's kind of nuts,
Yeah.
um, but yeah. So I guess we can kind of get into it a little bit. So Friday night, like I had mentioned, was the keynote. I
Yeah.
pulled this off the video. So man, we got a lot. I kind of, to be honest, I was a little bit surprised by the second Pro Tour. They seemed kind of set in stone last year about the One Pro Tour Worlds format. So it's cool to see that we get another Pro Tour coming back. This screenshot that I took, they didn't update the graphic, but Pro Tour 5 is in Amsterdam, which
Yeah.
is sweet. Because that
Yeah.
connection flight from Amsterdam to Barcelona sucked. Dude, I got off the plane and it's like, oh, 8 hours done. And then you're like, hey, bud, what about another hour and a half? And you're like, no, no, I just want to be there, man. So at
Yeah.
least here from, where we're from, Nate, we'd be flying right into Amsterdam. It's a major hub. I've done it a couple times. I've done it for work now, and I've done it for Barcelona. So I was like, ooh, that would be nice just to be done when I
Yeah.
get there. But no info on Worlds. Just that it's happening in November again. I didn't expect anything on Worlds, to be honest. That's kind of I think I think being like upset about that would just be kind of like Looney Tunes. It's like a year
Yeah.
out.
It's pretty far out there.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
the one thing that concerns me about the roadmap is like Nationals and Pro Tour 5 being so close together. And like it probably I'm sure other
Yeah.
people are very, very excited about it, but like I have two small children and a wife unit that um that's gonna be a tricky thing to swing. I literally will probably have to make a decision if I'm going to Nationals or Pro Tour. Um
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed the cadence this year being a little bit more spread out, but I am very like I'm excited that there's a lot of downtime this year, so I'm excited that there's more uptime in terms of like
Yeah.
competitive season. Basically, as soon as February hits, it's like go go.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty tight schedule. You're not wrong there. Yeah, I guess I didn't even notice that till you just pointed it out. Like Nats is like right on top. US Nats is normally the first week, so that'd be the beginning of June, and then July.
So it can't be beginning of June because set 13 drops in June. So like it's gonna probably be set drop is gonna be the first week. It has to be like June 1 because
Yeah,
heavy hitters is dropping early February. Otherwise, we're gonna go like 5 months with in heavy hitters, which it'll be a long time to sit in the same meta.
yeah,
Um, and so my guess is like set 13 drops like basically first part of June, and then nationals will be 2 3 weeks later.
yeah. That's kind of
Look
tight.
at June. Uh,
Um, yeah.
oh, actually, my guess is so
I
June
thought I
4th would be
thought he
set
said
race.
late June, but that could be wrong.
So yeah, if it drops June 7, Nats would be my guess like maybe June 28th, and then a month later would be Pro Tour.
Yeah, maybe. The other thing to note from this roadmap is no four sets. I thought for sure with heavy hitters coming out in January, February, that we were setting up for a four set year.
Mhm.
Maybe with the expansion slot, we don't see that. Um, maybe that's how they're getting around it, right? Maybe the four. I always kind of had a feeling like it'd be three draft sets and one expansion. Maybe expansion slots are kind of being uh they're going to be output a little bit more rare now that we can get expansion slot cards and fill in those um fill in those gaps. I don't think expansion. I think they honestly don't think. I would not be surprised if expansion slots just don't do well for them.
You mean expansion
Because or
sets or
expansion sets. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure those are the lowest volume they produce. So like
Yeah.
eliminating them and then also still having the way to like
Pump your like draft sets is probably great. The
yeah,
win-win for
I'm sure
them.
this is like a huge win for LSS to basically move this into the draft sets, help move those along, and then you only have to focus on a couple SKUs.
Yeah.
Uh, so Nick asked in chat if we knew why the Q&A didn't happen at Worlds. Um, so from reports, it was the ball was dropped by Tournament Center, and they didn't have anything available for the Q&A.
Yeah, and by that, the word on the street was like no mics, no speakers.
Yeah,
James White pretty much had to yell this whole keynote because he didn't have like,
mics or
yeah,
speakers.
yeah, mic speakers, like localized speakers, right? It was like coming through like, it was, yeah, it was a mess. We can, yeah, I mean, if you
I mean,
watch Arsenal Pass, they've brought up some of these issues. I guess maybe this is a good time to do this. Well, actually, I want to talk about another thing before we get into like, let's talk about we'll talk about Saturday after the keynote, and like I think that's where some of my gripes would be with the event. But another thing that came out of the keynote was we're up from 11 callings to 18 in 2024.
yep,
Huge W. Holy smokes, man. That's awesome.
yep. That
Oh,
I mean, that's more than one a month. But it does kind of like it really accelerates the timetable on some of these heroes. Like Icelander, if she lives through Q1, whew,
yeah.
but like Dromai is not long for this world because, as we all know, Dromai is unplayable garbage, and
Yeah.
like the only way she's
Flavor
actually
that's
going to get,
not true anymore, but
I
it's
mean,
a bit.
look,
So,
she's only going to get LL points from like random battle hardens where no one shows up. And then we've got RTN and PQ season in like early first quarter. So like she might be gone by like June.
yeah,
But
I think yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, we talked about this. I talked about this on the floor, right, with some buds is that like as we saw worlds continue, like we got to final day or whatnot. Oh yeah. Um, we saw a potential dash. So Dash was like in the running, right? And talking about
yeah,
LL points.
yeah,
That would have put Dash and like lethal range, like 998.
yeah,
And
100%.
then we would have been sitting there with like Icelander and Dash dying on the or not a dying, but ascending to living legends on week 1 of the RTN season. I'd be like, whoa, it'd been wild. And I don't know if what we got is better. I think it might be because now Phi is like within striking distance. It's it's gonna be pretty wild, man. You're gonna have to start learning like new heroes are gonna have to be learned at a rapid pace, I think.
But I mean, what's funny is like if so Icelander's definitely LLing for sure, Q1. But then we've got Dromai and Phi both on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Like Uprising's about to go the way of Tails. Like, what is that? Like, it's the first set in 2.0.
Hmm.
What does that do like long term for Uprising's value? Like, I don't because those heroes can't compete. I mean, Icelander can, but gosh, now think about it, like Uprising is actually just Tails but with Marvels.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it kind of puts that set to bed, kind of like Monarch. I mean, you still have Leviah, like a little bit, but you're right. It's like a lot like Tails, where it just kind of like, okay, you go to sleep now for a while until we come out with like another dragon lady. So it'll be interesting, right?
the
Um,
thing is, like, they can't just like I don't you can you imagine? Okay, so we went from Prism to New Prism. That was it. what in the world does new Dromai look like? Is it like Dromai 2 Electric Boogaloo, pay 2 to give 1 dragon go again? Like that's god awful. Like,
Yeah, I think it was so again. I'm calling out. I had some time to catch up on some podcasts, right? So on Instant Speed, it was James White, Brian Gottlieb, and another gentleman from the dev team,
Chris Gehring.
Chris Gehring. Yes, and they were in that Q&A. There was an interesting thing that came up. So it was asked to the panel there what Fab 2.0, or like, are we in Fab 2.0? Like, what heroes are left of like the old design space? And Brian Gottlieb said Dromai, and James White was like, no. It was like, that's interesting. I'm like, what? Okay. Like,
One person thinks that that's an issue.
like,
It's
I mean, I agree with both of them kind of, because they do. Dromai has a way to be interacted with, right? You can instant speed kill a dragon and shut down the whole turn, right? It isn't just like go again, unhinged, unbridled that we saw before. But I thought that was an interesting, like, because I've always considered Dromai kind of on the cusp of like old design, right?
yeah.
She's very, yeah, she just gets to go pretty wide if she wants.
Yeah, she's definitely like super controllable. And like James White said, like you can stop the turn with 1 popper. Like that's all it takes.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing I listened to that interview, and the one thing that I picked up on was like James White was like saying send the team. Almost like, and we saw like raise the army.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like there's gonna be more board centric, unit centric heroes coming, and it is definitely something that I thought once Dromai left that they might move away from that, but it kind of feels like they want more of these like board, like these allies on the board that you can not, I guess not some, well, maybe summon, I don't know what the hell, like deploy to send the team, as J-Dubs says. So like it was very interesting when he used that like terminology. It kind of led me to believe that there's gonna be like more and more of this like sending the team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we did see that raise the army in the keynote, right? Where it's you're creating these cell swords and they seem really good, but you got to draw the card and it's you got to work for it, so it's not something's completely busted.
Yep.
What was that? Oh, the other notable thing I think from the keynote, Nate, was the deathmatch leaderboard, which is like all throughout all limited events during the heavy hitter season. Points will be accrued for winning heroes. And the people that win on the winning hero, or the hero that got the most points, get a command and conquer, immortalizing that hero, sent to their house. It's like, holy shit.
Yep.
As soon as he said command and conquer, I was like, whoo, people gonna
It's gonna get
hate
real
that.
sweaty. It's gonna be real sweaty.
Collectors are, I was like, the first thing I thought was like, man, collectors is not gonna like to hear that it's another command and conquer, but it doesn't matter. I honestly don't think it matters.
I don't think it does either. It's like at this point, like we saw the Marvel Command and Conquer. It didn't even really affect like the like first ed stuff. Um, and it's kind of like the sigil, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think there's these like iconic cards that can just see these like really cool alternate reprints
Yeah.
that won't affect like OG value.
Man, getting like a Kasai command and conquer where she's like commanding an army of cell swords in the art, boy, oh boy. Or the other three are, well, actually, there's 6 heroes, but we don't know if they're like doing the, bring in old heroes into it. But yeah, any of those like customized CNCs would be pretty sweet.
It makes prize splits real tough.
Yeah.
So, like, I hope this thing gets sent to when this gets mailed to your house. Let me know how much you sell it for, and then we'll split. Like, it's It's gonna be tricky for sure.
Bringing up another topic that was hit upon at Worlds, I suppose, too.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful out there, folks.
Yeah, I don't think you can price split in Swiss. Like I don't think that's like a hot take or anything. I think that
Yeah.
I honestly think that like specifically price splitting in the last round of Swiss is just like it. I don't think it should be done. Period.
Yeah.
Because you're not only just like potentially scooping someone in the top 8, but you're like dream killing someone else for a game that like actually wasn't played. And I just don't think that's like I don't think that's the competitive integrity that any tournament should be run under. Uh, because like you bust your butt to get there, and then all of a sudden like you find out the person next to you just scoops their buddy in the top 8 because they prize split, or like I don't know, that seems like, especially at that level of an event, it's a little bit dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
at a PQ or RTN, that's still a little bit dicey. Like, but
Yeah. Yeah,
a
you
little,
gotta be, yeah, just as they started saying at the event over the loudspeaker every so often, you cannot, you cannot discuss these types of things.
yeah.
Um, I mean, let's get the gripes out of the way. I hate being negative. I've always been, I'm still pretty positive. Like the event was amazing. It was like a complete win. I mean, we had a 960 person side event. Like, what is happening, dude? It was so cool to see. I was like looking around. I was like, how far does this event go? And
Good
they'd be
game
like, yeah.
set.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But so some of the negatives, and I am the merch was unfortunately, and I guess yeah, the merch was just way too expensive, man. I got a hoodie and it was 90 euros.
So like $100.
Yes. $100 for a hoodie. T-shirts were like 50 euros or like 40 euros. I have a Fidia sleeves with 35 euros.
I
Like,
feel like I don't like that they're selling the sleeves that are supposed to be like the special thing for qualifying for Worlds. I don't.
it was in the Fable package too because I got a box of them.
Hmm,
So it wasn't a Worlds exclusive thing.
hmm.
Um, I don't know what happened there. It doesn't.
What was even exclusive to being a Worlds player then? Like
The
the mat?
library mat. Yep, and then you got a sigil.
I feel like we could do better there.
Yeah, I mean the merch needs to be. It doesn't feel like LSS. It doesn't feel like LSS had a direct hand in the pricing of that merch. Again, it feels like to me, and I don't know anything. Let me just say this right off the top: is that it feels like LSS said, "Hey, Tournament Center, we want to sell this merch.
Sell
You
it.
are hiring judges. Here's this merch. It costs this much. This is a way for you to profit, right? To make money at this event like they've done in the past,
Yeah.
with other things, with like promos, things like that." And then Tournament Center was like, cha-ching. Someone obviously was tuned in and was like, "Oh, this is the first time official merch is being offered. We're gonna charge 50 euros for a T-shirt." Like I didn't even get I honestly didn't get the T-shirt with the Worlds logo on the back because I was like, dude, I don't want to pay $50 for a T-shirt. And then the sweater is actually super nice. Like the logo on the back is really cool. It's a hooded sweatshirt. It's
Yeah.
kind of thin, but it's super soft. It's like not a full sweater. And I was like, well, I'd rather have the sweater. And or I got a, and then I got a Vincent shirt. Okay, so yeah, that's what happened. Is I chose the Vincent shirt because that was super cool, Iron Maiden themed, and then
So that's like $50 for a t-shirt is like you it,
it's like I
concert
couldn't spend $200 on two T-shirts and a hoodie. Like I just couldn't
concert
do it.
t-shirts are cheaper than that. Like that's the
Yeah, it was so that's like one major gripe. but I think that will get better. The other thing was is that Tournament Center did kind of like on top of the Q&A being canceled because they didn't have any of the gear. Um, the main events, as far as I could tell, were ran pretty well and pretty tight. Worlds was ran pretty tight. You know, you can kind of tell if shit's going
Yep.
awry, even though I wasn't playing in it. But side events were an absolute shit show.
Yeah, I saw some reports that the side events were not great.
In my one of my the Sagrada Familia Blitz side event was like 2 hours late. I was like,
That's
what?
impressive,
I was like,
honestly.
didn't even start. They're like, um, yeah, it was wild. Um, yeah, and then like a lot of events were like that as well. Like just not that event. They had a system that I haven't seen before where your vouchers were like actual monetary value. They just didn't get you into like certain things. So you could like walk up. So the other thing was is when you bought your package. So I had the Fable package. They just give you the tickets, and then they don't sign you up for anything. So if you bought a, so if you bought the calling package, right?
Mhm.
You weren't signed up for the calling package. You had to go get your stuff, get the ticket out of your stuff, and then get in another line, and then go sign up. It was like,
They did
and
that in Vegas too, which I thought was super weird
yeah, I
because I almost didn't get to play in the calling at Vegas.
it was
Because my ticket was in my freaking room. I had to buy like a different package just to get a freaking ticket so I could play in the event.
yeah, I thought it was really weird. Now, to not bury Tournament Center completely, you could sign up for all these events online. But obviously, you know, people don't pay attention or whatnot. And the line to register for anything was always like a million miles long. It was like, oh, um, yeah.
I like
So,
from home to like it it was a oh man, I just wish I was there. I there was like massive amounts of FOMO. I'm just checking Twitter, looking at updates, wishing I was there. It looked like an absolute blast. Like it was so cool to see like Dash IO just plastered across the side of a building
yeah, that was
with
pretty
those like
cool.
big old banners and stuff, and like the professor's workshop. Oh my, don't even, dude. That's so.
We technically got a spoiler accidentally.
Yeah, our first
Our
spoiler.
first
Woo!
spoiler. So I was like first in line, and again, I was like, I bum rushed James White like a fiend. I felt terrible. But he was super chill about it, of course, like he always is. And I know Joe is like security guard guy at this point. He's like, "Hey, I remember you." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Can you help me out?" I was like, "Can I just like run up there real quick? I just need one signature for my tome of travel that I was doing. If you've seen it on Twitter, I put out a bunch of photos." And I was like, "I'll be out of your hair. I just want to get this signature because I can't. I'll be in events the rest of the weekend." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, that's fine." And then I'm like getting ready to walk away from the table after he signs my book, and he's like, "Hold on." He's like, "I got something for you." And then that's when he flipped over the popped collar polo, and I was like, "Dude." I was like, "This thing is so cool."
Yes.
It's basically Blossom of Spring. And he told me it was tournament legal. I don't know if that's officially on the site or not, but James is like, "Yeah, it's tournament legal. Go play with it." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool."
If James White says it, it has to be tournament legal.
Yeah, I mean, he said it to me. I heard it. And so I put it up on Twitter like right away, and then
Yeah,
the purple Discord sent out my tweet everywhere. So
yeah,
that was kind of cool. Yeah, so that was a highlight of the weekend as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, like you said, I can't imagine not being there. It was pretty awesome, man. It was really
yeah.
cool. Definitely a step up from last year. Like in grandiose, like not even talking like bathrooms and all that bullshit. Like it was there was like more people there. People were like pumped to be there.
Yeah.
You could just feel it in the air every time you were in the building. People were just like jazzed to be there.
Yeah, it from home, like I think one thing I realized over the weekend too is like we are completely spoiled to have like Savage Feats running like battle hardens because they do a absolute banger of a job.
Yeah.
Um, and like I think the coverage was good, but it's like good, and then like Ethan and crew just like dude, they take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's just super hard to do, man. Like doing this,
oh,
doing
100%.
my doing these recordings and like even doing this live right now is like it seems like you just click a button to go live, and it's really not that like it's actually a little bit harder than it
I feel like
looks.
you're
Like
firing shots here, Ted.
yeah, well, people there was 40 people out there that saw what happened, and
Dude,
we just won't talk about it.
it's fine. Dan was bummed too.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad for you guys because I was like, no, this would have been good, but
Yeah. Dude,
uh,
it was just good
it's a
to like
lost
me
episode.
and Dan just like we stopped recording, and then me and Dan just like hung out for while I tried to figure out how to upload it. We just hung out and chatted for like another 45 minutes. We're homies, so
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
it's just us catching up.
Um,
Um, should we just open this thing?
yeah, yeah, let's do that.
All right. We didn't post about
Yeah,
this. We're
yeah.
just
Everyone, before while Nate's getting ready to open it, post up your predictions in chat for the gold foil. It
yeah.
is a
It's just common and rare.
um,
This is my ProQuest Gold Foil. So season 4. Um what y'all thinking?
yeah. We'll let the some of the predictions come in.
Yeah. If you guess right, I'll have Brody make you a ham sandwich at the next event.
Yeah.
You only get one guess though. Should I look at it first and then just like make them like slow roll it as they guess?
Cross wraps. Dude, there was the Teklo that was 3-0. And then Arsenal Pass guys were gonna be on Max. So
Mhm.
um yeah, I still think this meta is kind of interesting. I mean, Phi won. That's kind of that's something. I think I
All right. I'm gonna let some more guesses come in. We only got 2 guesses. We have 15 people right now and 2 guesses.
we got 3 guesses now. We got Goliath, we got Accelerator. Accelerator would be pretty sweet.
Dude, accelerators would be hot. Dude, I'm a Dash IO main now, so
Oh man,
I'm actually
I
not.
played Dash in a side event and I did a turn that was like it was sick. It was very
Dude,
cool. It had max
beautiful.
velocity at the end of it, and then like a pistol shot. It was like, oh my god, I just did 30 damage to this guy.
Mhm.
He was on 6. He was like over dead by a lot, but I did it.
They're like, oh, that's the best thing about Dash is like they're dead, and it's like, but let me finish this turn real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. I gotta keep going, dude.
Yeah, I know you're dead, but I've got like 3 more actions and 2 more pistol shots. Is
Yeah,
that okay?
yeah. This is a high octane, man. I gotta go.
Yeah, pistol. Oh, dude, I love a pistol. All
Pistol's
right,
pretty good.
we'll give it a couple more seconds. Okay, yes, Jordan.
I'm too
I do
sick.
like
Getting called out, Nate.
I do like too many decks. I've been playing like a lot of Levia lately too. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was thinking about that because we're
I
talking.
just love Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, we've
Is
been
that such a crime?
we're
All right.
talking. The me and the boys in Worlds were talking about that, and like it got brought up. It's like I just uh one of my friends was like, I just want to play a deck with Art of War again, and I was like, you know what? That statement hits me
Hmm.
right in the heart. Like, I think I want to play a deck with Art of War again, and it's not Fi. I was like, Levia. I get Husk and Art of War. Like it's almost the same.
All right. Is Jordan just gonna be a smartass, or is he actually gonna guess too? Jordan.
No. Oh, while we're like trying to get some more guesses. So this is actually a blue one. I don't know if this shows up on screen. So he
Yep.
did 3 different colors. I have he James White is such a homie, dude. So I went back up to him and I was like, "Hey man, can I just want some of these for giveaways. They're so awesome." He signed 2 more of these for me. So I have my copy that was the spoiler, and then he signed 2 more of the blue ones for me from Saturday, and we're gonna be giving them away. Um, wow, that was
Jordan,
savage,
don't
Jordan. Why would you put that
no,
into the world, man?
don't you do that. All right. So we'll just drum roll it.
Romping. Wait. Didn't you just? Oh my god.
Closed, baby.
Clubbing.
Dude, we
We're clubbing.
clubbing. I'm now probably like the largest romping club
Dude, you
gold
got
foil
me,
owner.
man.
Dude, I might now just start going and buying gold foil romping clubs just so I can be like hold all of the inventory. I have
Yeah.
2% of it. I might as well go for the
That's
rest.
oh man.
Just one man, 2 clubs.
One
What else do
man,
you want?
two clubs.
Dude, if these were claws, oh baby.
Oh yeah. Those would be pretty sick.
Dude, when gold foil claws?
So
Oh,
this
dude, I have to open. So Ted picked up a gold foil for me at Worlds, so now I have to open that one. And if it's a club, I'm going all in, baby. I'm gonna acquire every club.
buying all clubs. Oh
Yup,
my god.
yup.
Um so yeah, I gotta figure out a giveaway for this. I'm actually thinking so we're at like
Okay,
814 right now.
1K.
And yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, man. I don't like long giveaways, but I think these are pretty cool. And I think 1K is
One should go to your co-host because he's super cool.
yeah, that's not how
And
a
then
giveaway works, but
the other one should definitely go 1K.
yeah, we should do 1K.
Dude, I got a box of Audi
I
too
got
that I'm probably never gonna open.
hey man, we can throw it in there. We can
Yeah,
crack it.
yeah. I want it at my ProQuest, so I just don't. I don't really care. Yeah, we'll just throw that in there.
You don't want to open your box and get your three Majestics.
Nope.
Uh yeah. Oh yeah, you got the pink polo. Yeah, I got that. I was pretty happy. I was surprised. He had him flipped upside down, so I didn't even know what was going on. Like I said, I was just trying to get out of there and like not bother him. And he's like, no, 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 stay. And I was like, what do you got? And he flipped it over. I was like, holy smokes, this is awesome. This is the most Chad jawline I've ever seen on anything ever, too, by the way. You
Dude.
guys, like James White was like, no, stronger. They're like, how strong a jawline you on? He's like, the strongest.
Yeah.
Um, but we can shift gears a little bit. I
We can
think
talk about spoilers.
yeah, let's talk about some spoilers. I think the rest of Worlds, like the outcome, things like that, the draft. Congrats to the winner, Alex A from Greece. And then also congrats to Yukili Bender on like a crazy run. Like
Yep.
major props for her, dude. That's super cool. Um,
I know she doesn't listen, but I'm still never gonna forgive her for that tar pit trap. But it's okay.
you should have
That
showed her the red, man. No thanks.
dude, I didn't have it then. That was day one. That
Oh,
was before whatever the Brazilian steakhouse is called.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, we got some spoilers today from heavy hitters, man. Graveling Call. This is a dagger assassin weapon. Pretty standard starting point, right? Attacks 2 costs, go again, piercing 1.
Yep.
But it has a little extra text to it. So instant destroy 2 silver you control. Equip this with a +1 counter. Activate this ability only when that is in your graveyard. One thing to note right off the bat, it loses its +1 counter every time it goes to the graveyard. So like you ain't this isn't a pump effect.
Yep.
Um, but that seems super interesting for Arachne. I don't think Azuri gets silvers enough to make this like playable for her.
Yeah. I don't think so.
And then also like there was some talk about like, oh, I'd rather just have the on hit. And I'm like, yeah, but you have 2 of them. Like you can like bring the on hit on the other hand. And so like a 2 attack with piercing is like just pretty good.
I think this is really good into like the Bravo and like Dromai matchup where those games are going longer. And you might have opportunities to swing both daggers. So like this actually coming in for two and just being like a free, just like chuck at someone is pretty good.
I also hate the fact that it comes in for two at like the end game. Like
Mhm.
with like a flick knives or something, like you just can't go to two anymore. It's like Kadachi. You're like,
That how Flick Knives works? If that's how Flick Knives works, that's nuts.
isn't it? Like, because you could just throw. You can just can't you just throw it?
I think you can. I don't
Yeah,
know. There's
hurl.
never
You
been
can
one
also
of these
hurl
before.
one. So it's just like, because
All
that's
right,
what
who's
flick knives
judge?
and draft judge. Yeah, we got a judge in chat. Can
Judge,
we get a check on that? But yeah, like it kind of just locks you out. Like you can't go down too low, or they can just throw it at you.
dude, that's nuts.
Yeah,
Dude, Flick
like
Knives is like actually broken then.
yeah, like it might. Like I was thinking about this. I was like, well, going from one to two on paper doesn't sound that crazy, but it is actually kind of nuts. Like it's like in draft, if someone opened to flick knives, it's like you suck. Like
Yeah,
it was really sucky because you were like, well, my effective health just got reduced. So like, if you can throw it for two, that makes a difference in CC, I think.
yeah. Flick Knives is basically like a free two damage as long as you have
As long
to
as you have
freaking
as
switch
long as you
over.
have the flick knives, right? If
Yeah,
you're not forced to block with your armor early, then I'm trying to break something or whatever,
yeah.
But yeah, it
It's
could
super
be
good in
really
the
good. I think.
prison too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's an adorable angel you have there. Would be a shame if something happened to it.
Yeah.
Just like shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think this card I think this card's interesting. I think it might have a place. It definitely seems like especially with this card as well,
Yeah.
Arachne is getting
Okay.
tuned up.
Question one: is this the Emperor in this picture?
No, he's wearing blue.
Okay.
He's got like the facial hair, but uh, whatever's happening to him does not look pleasant at all.
Oh, that's why I wondered. Like, maybe they faked the Emperor's death and murder, and now he's got him in this like brain probe thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he'd be wearing red, but that's just my so what this card does, it is a blue block 3/0 cost attack reaction. Um right off the bat, everything I just said there was like it's in the deck, right? A blue block 3.
Yep. Blue
It
black
does
three.
everything you want, right? So the text says, look at the top three cards of the defending hero's deck, put them back in any order, then banish the top card of the deck. If you complete a contract this way, your assassin attacks gain go again this combat chain.
Wait, is that all of them?
Yeah, it's not link,
Dude.
it's
Oh my
chain.
dude, this card is
Yeah, you
correct.
did not
Holy
you did not
dude.
realize that. I knew that. I
I have no idea. Dude, I don't read anything. I just saw
hey,
people posting memes that this was titanium bobble. I knew the card was good and I thought people were memeing, but this card is actually low-key insane. I
yeah,
thought it was just like the attack that was attacking, not all of them.
yeah, that's what I was like. Wait a second. If it, I thought I had to reread it because I was like, wait, link. I was like, I was looking for chain link because it could give an attack go again as you play the reaction. But no, this says combat chain. So this is like
Okay, I
someone blocks out something like a what's an attack you want to block? A surgical extraction, they have a lot of attacks that you just want to block out. They play this, keep going, and then now you're like, I can't block no more.
I I hate this card now. Oh, okay, so
You have to complete the contract, right? That's the hard part.
wait,
So
if you one sec, what does
if
it
you
say?
complete a contract this way, your assassin attacks gain go again. So if you don't
Uh,
complete the contract, but you get to look at three cards and put one on top, right? So it would be a big whiff, I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you there. Um, I still hate this. So I have like a irrational hatred of assassins because I don't like it when other people mess with my deck. I have PTSD from mill decks in previous games, and
Yeah.
just like let me play with my cards. I like to make the decisions about my cards. I don't like you making the decisions about my cards.
Yeah, we both come
And
from Destiny, and the mill in that game was, in my opinion, pretty aggressive.
yeah,
You're like 30 card deck, and you would get your deck ripped apart in like what felt like 10 minutes. It was like, oh,
yep. Your hand, your deck, everything is like it's like you basically it's like it's like basically you walk into the bar and they just like strip you butt naked and then you're like, oh, and out of the bar I go.
yeah, you just turn right back around.
Yeah. Card slaps though.
Yeah,
Cards like
this card's really
insane.
good.
That's disgusting. And then you payday at the oh my
I forgot what payday even does.
payday. If you've completed a contract, you create 4 silver. But with like the new weapon, that's like creating 4 silver is effectively like creating 4 damage out of thin air.
Yeah, if you can like, every
It's like
yeah,
a blue that creates like basically like 4 damage in future turns, which is nuts.
yeah. I think
Jeez,
like once you get this dagger to 2, because it's piercing 1, right? So it's like you can't even block it with a 2 block anymore. Like you never do these
you
piercing
can block it with a
weapons,
2 block.
or like an armor, right? You're like,
Yeah, it
in
just
a
it
pinch, but
doesn't
like,
do anything. It's just the fact that if it actually hits for 2, when you flick knives it, it's like I'll pitch to attack you for 2, and then throw my contract card at you, and I'm just gonna like yeet this at your face, and I'm just gonna get it back next turn. And it's like, here's my 2 card 8 every single turn,
yeah.
and that's that's a lot of value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
That's value, and you're
Yeah,
eating their
yeah.
whole deck. And
Yes.
Arachne gets to like, dude, I played against. Okay, so we have a Arachne at our local. Shout out Jackson if you're listening, but he's the worst. He takes the cards that you want and he puts them on the bottom of your deck. Like I was playing Rhinar one week and I literally could not find Blood Rush Bellow, and they were like in the bottom 10 cards of my deck because he just saw them on top and he put them right to the bottom. And it was like, what the heck? What am I? How am I ever gonna
Just
kill you?
follow
It's
him
the only
in.
card I can use in my deck.
Yeah. Yeah, Arachne can get like, I think these 2 cards buff Arachne in a substantial way, not in a Tome of the Imperial Flame way, but definitely pulls him out of the gutter. Now we just have to hope that the Runeblade card is not just a Viz only card, but it's definitely going to be a Viz only card.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Vincent gets any help this set either. I think it'll be next set. But I'm just being pessimistic, I think. But
They have to give it. They know that Viz is an absolute gutter.
yeah,
I was
maybe.
gonna say some other things, but I'll stop at gutter.
You can just stop there. Yeah. Um but yeah, so I think these spoilers are pretty hot. Um
Dude, if the expansion slot keeps up at this pace, like expansion slot's gonna be a banger. This set's gonna be a banger. Did we get
I think
confirmation
James
of
White
the
alluded in the ISP interview that this expansion slot is like a little bit more powerful than the last one, like overall. So that's good.
we're already seeing it.
Bring some bangers.
It did we get confirmation that Marvel Kasai is gonna be in set?
No, but I don't see why she wouldn't be.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
Love to
I
see
think
it.
I think it's time for a Marvel hero to be back in a set. It's the
100.
last time that happened was Starvo, right?
Yes.
Like an actual
And
hero
yeah,
Marvel,
HP
right?
two, but yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oop.
We lost you.
Yep, sorry.
Um, all right, Nate. Last topic, then maybe we can take some more viewer questions. If you have questions for us, hit them up, put them in chat now. We'll catch up to them. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, Young Icelander was a marvel. Yep.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, so if you're not in the States or you don't use TCG Player, currently TCG Player has a whole weekend sale where you get 10% back on any purchase in store credit. They're like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. They're calling it Cyber Weekend deal. Um, and oh boy, uh, Fab is Fab is flying around, folks. Not only that, like heavy hitters like push some cards around like crazy. Um, yeah, Fab is going nuts. I guess I switched over to the chatting screen a little early.
You gotta pull up the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is give a shout out to Findel's collection. If you guys don't know about this website, go check it out. It's very cool. They've been updating it constantly. They've just updated it to have TCG Player low, which is what Nate and I use to look at most things. Yes, as you can see by the warning, it can be a little unstable because cards sell out, as we've mentioned before. Um, but yeah, so if we look at it, I've removed the first ed. You know, we
Mhm.
can turn Monarch on too. Tails first. I don't. Oh, that did make a difference. But if we look through this list, Nate, there's some. I think there's some very. I think this list is pretty straightforward, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
heavy hitters is kind of like, especially once the spoilers started flowing in. Right, we got nourishing emptiness up there. You know, gaining like $10 over the last couple days. Um, Tear Asunder, Spinal Crush, and Bolden Blade. You know, what's the common theme here, right? Warrior, Guardian.
Yeah.
Things are popping up, right?
Wait, weird. Did we talk about Spinal Crush like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, we did actually.
Hmm.
We
Odd.
did.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? This is the rainbow foil that's up here. Just if we're looking at this, the rainbow foil popped up big. As we've talked about previously, you know, the WAC, WTR, Crucible, Arcane Rising, rainbow foil, majestics, and super rares are always going to be, they were super hard pulls, and I think they're always going to hold some value. You can see the Spinal Crush, you know, jumping up to $30. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I think I
Um,
see a little blue Rouge bellow
yeah.
right there.
No, that's Blood of the Chakai. Cold foil jumping up.
3 above it, but 4 above it.
Nope.
Oh, that's Redback Shroud. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Redback Shroud. I think, you know, Assassin's also. Yeah, that one. I don't know about that one.
I don't know who's like, give me some of that really crappy tunic.
I don't. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's tough.
Just give me the
Gordanian
one.
Tome. Yeah, we're gonna dig into this. I guess, you know, what I wanted to show here, Nate, is that, you know, things are flying around, especially with this sale. We've talked about it before. You know, I don't want to sit here and like scroll through a website too much. You know, you guys will get bored of that. But we'll dig into this, you know, as things settle out, especially out of the Cyber Monday sale. But there's some stuff moving around like crazy, man. Cash
Yeah.
ins are like $6 a piece, non foil. It's like craziness. Gorg Tome got pumped to like $17, rainbow foil, because of Kasai and how she works, right? Drawing cards, things like that. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
game is on fire right now, guys. Um,
This is like definitely like if you don't want to get hosed and you're thinking about buying into a certain hero or class, now is the time to do it because like we're already seeing like already dead surgicals like are moving for assassin. Like how many regicides did you say you sold?
Sold everyone I had. I put all 19 up because it was just like, I don't know if these are gonna sell. I put them up for like 45 cents, right? I got them in like a big
Gone.
poof, gone. People out there specking on them. Um, you know, so I would say right now, take advantage of that TCG player sale if you can, but also navigate it very carefully. Kind of, look at where the price is at and judge, if it's. I think we've always said this, right? Take a look at how many listings are up and stuff. If it's a card that has like 2 listings and like 5 total cards on TCG Player this weekend, it's a
It
good
got bought
chance.
out.
Yeah, it's a good chance that card is way too expensive. Wait until after the weekend and see if people list it for lower. These cards will bounce back. So don't overextend this weekend trying to take advantage of that sale. But if you see some stables that are like flush, Tome of Findel, if you want to play some Dash IO, I still don't understand how that card is like $6. Come on. There's a billion Tome of Findels out there. And it's just like, I guess maybe just people don't want to pick up Dash IO, but I thought for sure she would push that card up higher.
Same. I
Yeah.
mean, I have Tome Flame those bags, but I'll gladly sit on those. That card's broken.
Yeah, a card will always be playable. I have a little stack of them as well that I'm just like, okay, we'll wait. Like,
Uh, Dell had a question in the chat. What we were thinking the other 5 heroes are going to be.
so I think.
I think one's definitely going to be Reinar.
Mhm.
I think I think the bringing Dash 2 Electric Boogaloo back was kind of like LSS like nodding and like Prism back as well as like LSS realizes that people are very with heroes LLing, LSS is realizing like you can't just like give them a new hero and be like, it's the same thing. Because people are gonna be like, look at Vincent. No like chain stands are like, oh my gosh, we got him back, guys. But like Prism stands are like, we got Prism back. She sucks, but we got her back.
I
So
mean, I
like,
think yeah, you got a point there. I think with some of these older heroes, right? Dash IO could have definitely just been data doll. Like, you know what I
100%.
mean? Like the lore of them two like linking up and stuff. So I did actually think about that on my flight home. I was like, why did they definitely purposely made it a new Dash? So
Yes.
maybe we get a new version of Rhinar. Maybe we get something, an updated. But I do think at 6 heroes, they're definitely not going to be all new heroes, right? We're going to get a reworked Kasai, possibly reworked Rhinar, a new Guardian, but then we're going to see like Bravo back. Um,
You
kind
think
of,
we're
I,
gonna get another Bravo?
I think what we're going to, in my mind, I really do think that this is going to be some kind of outsider situation where to like bring in the older heroes, bring in some of the older heroes just as a hey, this is Guardian on a different axis. Like Bravo's the dominate Guardian, but the Mangle guy or Jawl is like
Jarl.
does something else, right? Like so then you can
Jarl's
draft.
100% coming. I would be surprised if Valda is not in the set.
Oh, that's
Maybe
interesting.
reworked, but I think like I would see like her and Jarl. I think we get a brand new Brute and Reinar, and then I think we get Kasai and Dory.
Oh, you know what? I think you might be right because there's only
I
three
always
sets.
like that.
There's 3 sets this year, and they said like 15 new adult heroes. So there can't be old heroes brought in like outsiders. There has to be more than. Huh. Yeah.
I highly doubt there's gonna be 6 new adult heroes in this set though.
Yeah, I
But
think I think you're pushing it, right? Maybe 4 and then 2 oldies.
I would not be surprised either too. Like there's other products and ways to integrate new heroes into the
Mm.
game. So like I would not be surprised if we don't see like a new chain in 2024.
Ooh, the new classic battle CC edition that he talked about. Prism versus Chain, new Chain versus new Prism.
Maybe not even new Prism. Maybe like
Has to be light versus dark.
yeah, maybe we get a new light hero too. Like I don't know. Listen. I mean, I am the Oracle and all, but I I I think that they're definitely going to be exploring different avenues too to like introduce heroes into the classic constructed format to not leave because like, there is such a big stretch between heavy hitters dropping and the June set that I would not be surprised if we see Adult Heroes get interjected in like April or May.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm all for it. New stuff would be sweet. I'm here for it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for heavy hitters, man. I did look up flights to Auckland, and I was like, nah, I can't do that. That's insanity. I do want to get to Amsterdam. That would be pretty cool. Um, yeah, we'll see how it goes, though.
We'll teach you how to get good, Ted.
I do need to get good again.
Pick a
I've lost
hero.
my way.
We'll pick a hero. We'll rock you that shit.
Dude, I got to go to the Brawl next weekend, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm not prepared for that either.
Dude, I'll teach you how to play Levia.
Yeah, we might have to do that. I think, so Dell, I think there's going to be one of those Reinhardt v Dory decks in March, April to split the gap. Yeah, there could be. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But I think this year, I think it'll be CC. Like, there was some talk of like a starter CC set, which would be pretty fire.
I don't know if they'll ever do a starter CC set. I think they always want Blitz to be the onboarding format.
Yeah. Blitz is about to get real weird. You're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have
Blitz
to
is
dig deep
always
to
real
find
weird.
some Blitz heroes.
Dude, you're gonna start playing freaking Arachne solitary confinement here soon.
Yeah. Yeah, Vincett's still a thing in Blitz.
He certainly is.
Yeah, she's gross.
He's actually playable there.
Yes. All right. I think that's gonna do it, right, man? I don't think I
Yeah.
have anything else. Keep an eye out for the giveaway. I think, we're gonna do at least one Pops collar for 1K, box of outsiders. But we're planning, we're working, gotta work those things out. Like I said, I've
Yes.
been kind of in a haze, so I gotta get back at it. But yeah, overall Worlds was great. Um, excited for heavy hitters, man. Really
Dude, I'm
excited for it.
so hyped for heavy hitters. I thought like after Bright Lights we were gonna like tone down, but like I saw the spoilers and I was like, no, we're in,
No,
baby.
Kasai looks fun.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I lost money on Bright Lights. I just have like so much of it left. Um,
yeah, it's a that set, man.
but
I think
yeah,
I've said it every time we talk about it. I think the set gets a bad rap, honestly, and I think it got a bad rap from the get,
I
which I
I
can't blame people, but at the same time, I'm like,
the like Max and Dash are actually very playable decks. And I think they're actually like quite strong decks, and I don't think you're like punting by bringing either of those to a tournament.
dude,
But
yeah,
I think they like really like highlighted Teklo as like the
the
big baddie.
centerpiece, and then
Yeah, and like he kind of fell short, so everyone kind of. But the thing is too, like the two playable decks, Max and Dash, don't really play any of the Majestics from this set. That's like the true issue
yeah,
is like
twin drive and
they play Twin Drive, and that's about it.
heist.
Uh,
You got heist and twin drive, and it's like propping, and that's why they're like $20 and $50 a piece because
I'll give you a little hint here, Ted. Our Worlds deck did not play Heist.
yeah, I've heard that card being cut and added and cut and added. So
It was cut and then killed. It
yeah,
was
it's
just
just tough. The couple games I got on her this weekend, it's just you found yourself without an item in your banish zone, and you were real sad to have it in your hand. You're like,
yeah,
oh shit. It's like
yeah.
this is supposed to pull blocks, and it doesn't because they're just like it's 5 and you paid 2. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take 5
It's
here. It's like
yeah, it's the fact that like
it's got to be like sideboarded, right? For the mirror, it's like no.
it's too like, you're already playing a somewhat inconsistent deck, so
Oh
by
yeah,
by introducing another card that is inconsistent, you're just like making your
yeah,
deck less consistent. So you just have to have like your overall power level be like consistent and high.
that makes sense.
but I mean, like when it's on, it is very high. But like the ceiling of your deck is already so high that you just don't need another card that like pushes the ceiling higher. You need
Yeah,
more floor built into your deck.
that makes sense. But yeah, I guess to wrap this up, Nate, we got our work cut out for us this week. We got to do some deep dive in, some data analysis on the after this sale, see what's cooking, what's
Yeah.
worth picking up, what's not, because we flashed that screen, right, and I'm looking at like stuff that's jumped like 100%, right? We're looking at cards doubling 60%. Yeah,
You're losing me, Ted. It's
I
9:30
know.
at night.
It's losing me, man. I'm just rambling over here. Some other things of note, if you're in my Discord, I put out we're doing this for anyone watching. I'll
What are
be
we
putting
doing?
out links. We're doing raffles on these. So we're doing
Ooh,
the wheel raffle like I did on the gold foil if you caught that stream. So 6 spots, Judge Pack 2 is $50 a slot. So you can get, which is like a hell of a deal if you win it. Like it's degenerate stuff, but at the same time, and then $40 a slot, 6 slots in each of them. And then if you get the right cold foil and I open it and it's that, we're giving it away. So once those fill, we'll rip those. That'll be fun.
that'd be sick.
And then I got more gold foils too, but we got to stagger those things a bit. So I'm excited to do
Dude,
those.
I'm opening mine as soon as I get it. Ted's shipping it to me, so I'll open mine as soon as I get it on the channel. So
Oh yeah, I forgot. I thought this whole time I thought the one you opened was the one you just got, but
mhm,
I still yeah, I gotta ship it first. But yeah,
yes.
we got
Woo, 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 woo.
yeah. Worlds was very Worlds. Did I did some stream spending. So all
Yeah,
right, Nate. Let's call it here. I'm sure the 8 people left here are like, okay, enough of this.
they probably already fell asleep. Good night, Brian.
Good night. All right, everybody. We'll be back next week with a new buy list on Friday now. And like I said, we got some data to tear through, man. We got to do some heavy hitting analysis. This
Yes,
game's on fire, and it's looking good for heavy hitters.
dude. 2024. Let's go, baby.
All right, everybody. Peace. Like,
Peace.
subscribe, do the things. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.